Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Q Nostalgia here. I want to talk to you guys about Pantheon and the review score recently over on Steam. It's sitting at 64%. It dived down. It was pretty good. It was almost at 80%. And over the past month or so, it just dived down. I think there's a couple of reasons for this. First and foremost, I think that the game was too early. I think that it has a solid foundation, and I know that this is always going to piss people off no matter what. You're always going to have people who get irritated if you say anything negative about a game they like. But it was too early. It's just, in my opinion, it was too early. You can only get most classes, I think, to like level 20, 24 or something before they fell off because they weren't finished. So they had to try to get it out the door to increase the funding. And when you do that, you're in a pretty bad position, in my opinion. When you come to early access, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to pump content out consistently enough to keep that core audience coming back. And it was just too early to do that, in my opinion. Now, I looked at the Druid class, and I was pretty hyped for that. And then I saw the wolf form, and it was instantly turned off. They made their Druid form like blue or something like that. It's like, ew, I don't want to be a freaking blue wolf. I want to be like a badass gray wolf or something, or white or black wolf. Like something that looks natural. I don't want to be like a freaking SJW wolf.
So yeah, I do kind of look like a bear, but not a fucking gay bear. Maul your face bear.
I don't like the blue hair thing with the wolf form. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if maybe you can be like a brown or tan wolf, white wolf, or whatever. Maybe somebody can let me know down in the comments. But I absolutely hate the idea of being a blue-haired wolf. It's when I think of playing a druid, that's the last thing I think of. I want something more natural, you know what I mean? So I wanted to play the druid. As soon as I saw that, no. No. I think it's a terrible design decision, and I just haven't checked it out. I've been staying busy with EverQuest Online Adventures. As many of you know, I've been playing that here for a while. That recently came back, and it's in development, but there's a lot more to do in EQOA right now than there is to do in Pantheon. I can tell you that straight away. All the zones are open. You know, you're not limited to just a handful of areas that pretty much all look the same. That's one of the things about Pantheon that I didn't really like, is the areas that you run around in. It's, aside from like Wild's End or whatever, it's just got, everything's got this samey kind of feel to it. When I run around in EQOA, you've got all the zones from Hollis down to Grob available to you, and all the diversity that comes with that. So, and you can get to 49. We can do our level 49 epic. There's a ton of quests. There's a lot of stuff to do. And once I got back into that, that was it. I was done. Then you had the whole drama that happened with a guild and one of the developers, and that pissed some people off. And there's a few things I think. Well, I just want to talk about something that I noticed with one of these guys. And I don't really want to bash on anybody, but this kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I noticed it a few days ago. Somebody was talking about Embers Adrift. Just out of curiosity, how many of the old school gamers here that are pining for ye olden days of gaming have tried Embers Adrift? Many of the features being demanded in this game are already present there, but it's an absolute ghost town. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Personally, this is my take on Embers. I think it's boring. It lacks high fantasy in a dull setting with dull classes and snail's pace leveling. Somebody said, so basically, Pantheon but low fantasy. No, I don't think so. I think it was slower and a lot slower in Embers, and I do like Pantheon more with my initial response. But you'll notice what happened here is Savanja. This would be a good topic for the Embers Adrift community, and locked it up. That's just not a good look. And I know there's a lot of people that don't really like this person. They've kind of been at the center of some controversial nonsense over and over again. And it's just because I think they have an abrasive personality. You know, what are you going to do? In terms of public relations, it's not a good look. This isn't a good look. This tells me that you don't have confidence in your product and you feel like this is competition. You don't want somebody else talking about another MMO because it directly conflicts with yours or whatever. And it's just, I think it's sad. I think it's a pathetic thing to do. So you have that going against you as well. So you have all the drama nonsense and the fact that some people don't like her. And yeah, some bad blood has been in this community for a number of years. I mean, it's been in development for a long time. There have been promises made, promises broken. And you know, I get it. It's not easy to develop an MMO, but shit like this doesn't help. This isn't going to help. So I don't know what's going on over there with the public relations and all the nonsense, but they didn't need that. I think it was like last month all this started to happen with the guild, and they were spawning mobs or whatever. And a lot of people didn't really care about the fact that that was happening since there's going to be a wipe. They just didn't like the ethics of it and the way it was handled. The initial response was pathetic, and a lot of people did not like it. I actually had people come into my video when I talked about it threatening to sue me with sock puppet accounts that were like a year old. This is, you could be sued for this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, right. Covering drama and an MMORPG is going to get my channel sued? Really? Good luck. But yeah, it's things are looking a little rough right now. I think that it needed a little bit more time to cook, even for early access. Okay, there's just not enough here to keep people going. And you're going to start to see people getting angry about that. And a lot of other people are angry about the fact that this doesn't have quality of life things in it that, like, say, World of Warcraft would have, or a more modern MMO. I see a lot of people complaining about the lack of a map. And the map has already been talked about a billion times. I really wish that people would do a little bit of research before they complain about that. But, you know, it is what it is. People dive into a game. They don't want to look up a bunch of stuff. There's a map planned for this game. It's not going to have a GPS. It's just not. And a lot of the quality of life stuff that people are asking for, I seriously hope doesn't get added. And this pisses off a lot of people. I talked about the hardcore versus, you know, the old school community, and I got quite a few downvotes. There were more upvotes than downvotes, but you can tell there's people who, yeah, they want that quality of life added into this game. And these are people that came later. They haven't been following this since, you know, the core philosophy of what Brad McQuaid said it was going to be, which is not, it's not going to be all things to all people.
One reason we chose Kickstarter is that we're making a game with a target audience. We're not trying to make a game that is all things to all people.
The original design philosophy for the game was that it was going to be more hardcore like EverQuest. And some people just don't like that. And they're never going to like that. And they're going to try to change that. And hopefully the devs never cave into that. Is it going to make the game less popular? Yeah, and a lot of people use that argument. Well, this game isn't going to be as popular as WoW then if it doesn't have all this stuff. Well, you know, I mean, if you want to play WoW, just go play WoW. There's a ton of different games that you can be playing that have all that stuff. I don't see any reason to come here and try to make it into a modern MMO when you've already got a ton of modern MMOs. I'm never going to, like, I'll die on that hill. I don't care. Okay, because I think it's absolutely ridiculous that some people are like coming in here and they're like offended and pissed off that they're not getting the classic WoW experience or whatever. And I love classic WoW. I think it's great. I don't like modern WoW, but I think it's a great game. But it's there to play. Go play it. I don't see really any reason to try to change the core philosophy of the game. But you'll notice in some of the reviews, you come down here, you'll notice some of them are complaining about that kind of stuff. And a lot of it has to do with the map, which, you know, it's coming eventually. And again, I don't really understand why the map wasn't ready to go for early access, but it's not a good thing. It's just, you know, initial impressions, they matter. I've seen people posting, oh, the game is already on sale. It's a complete and total flop. It's like, not really. A lot of games want to be part of that, the Steam sales that happen. Why? Because it helps to increase awareness. It doesn't mean the game is a flop. You'll notice this probably more with indie games than with something crazy AAA. But you can go and look at a bunch of different games on Steam that have been successful, and they're relatively new, and they're taking part in the sale as well. So, yeah, there's just a whole bunch of mixed feelings about this. It seems like you have people that want to tear it down, and you have people that want to build it up, and I'm just trying to be real about it. I think it was too early. I think that if they maintain their current vision and expand upon it, they're going to have a really awesome game here. If they start caving in and they get rid of the darkness and they add GPS to the map and they add all these conveniences, they're going to lose their core fan base. They might pull in more people in the long run, but what they initially set out to do, it's going to be gone. That's like a betrayal to the people who have been here the whole time. So I really hope they don't abandon their core philosophy of keeping this more old school. And yeah, I wanted to talk about this real quick because it's just interesting watching how this played out. And I kind of had a feeling it was going to go this way. You know, like I said, if you can't maintain like a brisk pace of content, early access, you tend to kind of tank. I imagine this is going to start to go back up in like a year or so as they get more stuff out, but who knows? And the future, it's not set in stone. I don't know what's going to happen, but I wish them all the success in the world. Personally, I'm not playing it right now. Like I said, I do plan on coming back to it eventually, but I've been into EQOA. And anybody who's interested in EQOA, I'll have some links for you to check out how to set it up and whatnot. It's kind of a pain. You got to set up the emulator and everything. It's not on its own client, which I think you would have a lot more people playing it if it was, just because the setup takes so much. But there's more to do in EQA right now. There just is. So if you're looking for something that's like classic EverQuest, but a little not as hardcore, right? You're not going to be like going and grabbing your corpse, but you still have debt when you die and whatnot. If you're looking for something like that, EQA has been here for a while now, and it's slowly getting built back up to where it was. And we'd love to see you playing that as well. If that pisses off Savanja or whatever, then oh well. But I thought that was such a weird take. Oh, you guys can't talk about Embers over here. Go talk about it somewhere else. What? What are you doing? Can you imagine the Monsters and Memories devs doing that? And you know, I hate to make that comparison, but you have two indie devs that are aiming for the same core target, right? The same player base. You can talk about pretty much whatever you want on their Discord. You bring up another game on their Discord, it seems like it's a bannable offense or something. They certainly locked it over here. I don't know. It really pissed me off when I saw that, and it's like, yeah, I'm starting to see why people don't like this person so much. But anyways, I want to kick it over to you guys. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. If you like this, like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell, get down in the comments. God bless, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.
Nostalgia. It's delicate.